Hey guys, welcome back. Blizzard has released something brand new. That's right. They have released the wonderful Shadow Priest trees, Disc Priest trees, and Holy Priest trees. But with the caveat that they are actually not what's being tested. In fact, they're like, oh, well, this talent is in this tree, but actually, that's going to be baseline. So, keep that in mind when you're testing it. There's going to be a new talent, which has me a little bit worried in terms of development, because this is essentially saying that they are so far behind in development they couldn't take the 5 seconds to make an appropriate testable talent post, talent tree mock-up. But we're still going to look over it because I think it's very interesting. So here we are. We are looking at the disc tree. This so you get to at the top, of course, because you get disc. Then you get holy, and shadow. So first, we're gonna look at shadow because disc is the one that's like, hey, this talent is gonna be baseline, but it's still in the tree. So we're renew, focused mending, benediction, renewed faith. We're kind of going over here to look at what we'd be missing if we didn't go this way. Improved smite, enlightenment, say your prayers, holy nova. That that might actually be really good. Holy nova might be really good. Holy Nova might be really good because of stuff over here. So, you start off with Shadow Word Death. I don't really like the effect of Shadow Word Death, if I'm being honest here, because, if they don't die, you take damage equal to damage inflicted upon the target. And then damage is increased by 150% to targets below 20% health. I don't know how to feel about that. Purify Disease. Okay, and then Purify Disease leads you into movement speed, which you can take, but you need to spend 8 points to get down there. So we're going to skip Purify Disease because Body and Soul and Angelic Feather. Amazing. Improved Shadow Word Death, reduce the cooldown of Shadow Word Death, which is great. Shadow Mend, which is great because it's like a little tiny heal. It's more useful than Purify Disease. We'll take Mind Restrain, which is an increase in Mind Blast, and then we will. So, we'll take Mind Restrain just because Mind Blast is, kind of a weird defensive. Masochism is good defensive. Improved Mind Blast, definitely useful. Taming the Shadows, that's kind of an unnecessary talent. We will go for Power Infusion, though. Very obviously Power Infusion. I don't know, we kind of need to take Twist of Fate. So we can do Leap of Faith, which it's kind of useful in some fights. Mass Dispel, which is always useful. Then Mind Control, but we're going to skip Mind Control. I don't think you don't really need Mind Control or Dominate Mind. So we go over here. Clear Mind for so that makes them cost less mana. As a Shadow Priest, you're not really going to be worried about mana too much, so we'll go down on Shackle Undead. I'm really liking how optional these abilities are. He'll be like, but in order to get all the abilities you currently have, you have to take this. Yeah, if you want all of those abilities that you currently have, yes, you have to take it. But guess what? Not having Shackle Undead isn't going to make or break a fucking raid team on a random boss. Now, if it is a fight where it is heavily required, then guess what? You can take it. But in a vast majority of situations, Shackle Undead is useless, so we're not going to use it. Twins of the Sun Priestess, definitely taking that simply for power infusion. JB, which I hope that nobody ever hires him to cast World First again, because he's fucking weird. He's like, oh, fuck you, Raiders. All these people, yeah, give us power infusion. Power infusion's so great. It feels great to give someone else your cooldown. It's like, oh yeah, well, you could just take this talent. This talent right here. This talent that makes it to where power infusion affects you and your target. So, yeah. But we're going to go there. We need to spend 6 more points. So we're going to spend Shadow Fiend. Obviously throws a pain for DPS increase. Puppet Master. And then improve Shadow Fiend. So now we have 11 points left. We can get most of these trees. It's actually kind of weird. So let's look at what these trees have. So Crystalline Reflection. Power Word Shield instantly heals the targets and reflects 20% of damage absorbed. That's pretty cool. Mind Games. I hate this talent. This talent needs to be removed immediately. Assaults an enemy mind, dealing shadow damage and briefly reversing their perception of reality. For 5 seconds, a small amount of damage they deal will heal their target, and a small amount of healing they deal will damage their target. Reverse damage and healing restores up to 4% mana. Mind Games is useless. It's a useless talent. Let's see if we don't need to take it. So that's Fade reduces damage, Tithe Evasion. That's really good. So what's this? Charitable Soul. Okay. Lights Inspiration. Okay, so we're going to go over here for Mindbender. Just because. Then Rabid Shadows and Shadow Flame Prison. Obviously, just because it boosts up your Shadow Fiend. And Crystalline Reflection is really good because it reflects damage. Tithe Evasion is... Oh no, because we got to spend 4 points to get there. We only have 3. This is actual choice. It's Smite. Smite actually deal decent damage. No, well, it's not shadow damage. But this just, that would make it to where you want to cast Power Word Shield more. This is 20% less damage to you. But if we go up, if I remember right, don't we have something that already affects that? Improve. We had something that affected it. Huh. I must just be crazy. Yeah, I'm probably crazy. So we will take Translucent Image, Tithe Evasion. We can take Mind Games, but Mind Games is so stupid. We have 3 points, right? So we'll take the shield, and we'll take Light Inspiration. So this is your basic shadow build. You could take Taming Shadows, But, I mean, you already have the one ability that makes it to where it's like, hey, it's damage over time effect, heals you instead. So I guess you take Taming Shadow. Oh, no, wait, I know what we can do. Okay. We'll get a speed boost. There you go. There you go. We'll take a speed boost. And then you can swap a lot of these. Like, the ending talents here don't really seem too interesting, but it does allow a lot of choice. Like, you can completely skip over here. Over here is nothing but healing. It's like, oh, Tools of the Cloth, Renew. Holy Nova is an interesting ability. What, we would take 5 points to get there. We could completely ignore these and just go straight down to Holy Nova. Smite, mana regen. And then you'd want to pick up these two as well. I don't know. That is actually a toughie. But let's go over to the Shadow Tree. So you pick up Mind Flay, obviously, then it's like Devouring Plague. You take Devouring Plague. You take it. Mind Sear for AoE, Vampiric Touch for single target. So let's see how. Well, hang on a minute, because you got to pick up Fortress of the Mind for that extra regen. Can you skip Silence? If you skip Silence, you get rid of Dispersion and Psychic Horror. But that's all you're really missing out on if you don't take Silence. So we'll also take Vampiric Touch and... I mean, you don't need Death and Madness. On an ad-heavy fight, sure. In Mythic Plus, sure, but... So this is just CC. So we'll take Psychic Voice. And then this is either a single target ability or an AoE ability, but I said we're going to go single target, so let's try out single target here. So we can essentially ignore this entire part of the tree because that's just like Fade and Silence, which is fine. People are like, but you need interrupts. You need interrupts. That's not a choice. It is a choice. It is a choice. You're on Shriekwing. You don't need an interrupt. But that's the one boss. Yeah, it's still a boss that you can choose to not do it. That's not real choice. That's fake choice. That's the illusion of choice. Listen, I understand that buzzwords have been thrown out by streamers like JB, but if you actually understand what that means, you won't bitch. So we then get Vampiric Embrace, and Sand Lane reduces the cooldown, and this Power Word Shield generates 6 insanity during combat. That could work really well with some of these abilities that are based around Power Word Shield. So we go down here after casting Vampiric Touch. Your next one within 8 seconds is instant and deals shadow damage immediately. Okay. Vampiric Insight, Vampiric Touch, periodic damage, has a chance to reset the... Okay, we need that. Void Eruption. We need that. 6 points to get to the next row. AoE. Kind of. Damnation. Kind of want Damnation. It says Void Form increases Hungering Void. Void Bolt causes the target to become vulnerable, increasing the damage taken. This effect may only be active on one target at a time. Casting Void Bolt on an enemy that is already vulnerable extends the duration by 1 second or 2 seconds if it crit strikes. And then Surrender to Madness. Surrender to Madness is one of my favorite abilities. But they have nerfed it and made it almost unusable, so we're going Hungering Void. Ancient Madness. Shadowy Apparitions. Use Mind Blast. You also create a shadowy. Is Mastery going to still be a thing? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Shadow's Mastery right now. I don't know. Psychic Link, that's for a little bit. Cleave, but we gotta take that. So we'll take that because of Shadowy Apparition. Oh, what? We need to take Void Touched? I'm not gonna take Damnation. Oh, fuck, dude. Ooh. Shadow has a really weird tree here, man. A really weird tree. Because I'm not really taking anything extra, you know? I mean, well, I could get rid of Vampiric Embrace. But that's kind of needed. But, okay, let's say we don't need Vampiric Embrace for a fight. I mean, Vampiric Embrace... Let's say we don't need it. Say we don't use it. So we're missing out on... 6 Insanity for Power Word Shield. And Power Word Shield does some, I think it's like a 8 second cooldown or whatever. So over the course of a minute, you're maybe missing out on 60 Insanity. Just like half a Void Form. Shadow Crash. Mental Fortitude. Why is that a 2-rank talent? Okay, so this is if you're focused around Power Word Shield. Damage dealt by Shadow Word Pain has a 20% chance to apply Echoing Void, which is the old corruption. Shadow Fiend causes you to grant benefit based on your target's emotional state. They didn't add the emotional states in the tooltip because they're stupid. I don't like anyone who makes the thing. Void Apparitions, 10% chance of becoming infused with Void, dealing 20% extra damage. Okay. Vampiric Touch crits have a 10% chance to create a Shadowy Apparition. Okay. Consuming Vampiric Insight causes your shadow to animate for a moment. For 10 seconds, whenever you cast a spell, your shadow will cast a similar spell. Oh, and here's one of the talents that you can just activate without having to be attached to it. Okay. That's a little bit better, because then we can get down this side of the tree. But that's all of our points. We have no more points. We didn't reach an end cap talent. I don't know what to think about this. Mind Flame, Mind Seer have a chance to spawn a Void Tendril or Void Lasher. Okay, that's another corruption. After conjuring 50 Shadow Apparitions, you summon a thing from beyond that serves you for 20 seconds. It blasts enemy for shadow damage. Okay, but is that AoE? So that's healing for Vampiric Touch. That's while shielded, it does 15% additional damage. And we can take the Idol of Visage. We only have 1 point remaining. And that could be taken for Damnation or Void Torrent. I'll take Void Torrent. You're not really like, there's nothing here from what we've seen that really is like, your void form gets stronger. And I think that's what Shadow is missing, right? Void form should be your end goal. But none of these talents are really like, hey, your void form lasts like 50% longer or anything. I don't know, man. I don't really like the Shadow Tree. But we'll go Holy. So Holy gets heal, and then you can do Holy Word Serenity, Prayer of Healing, which is an AoE, Holy Fire, which is holy damage, Holy Word Sanctify into Spirit of Redemption, and then Afterlife, where I really like that. You essentially become a battle res, but you could get a free battle res. So like, you're a Holy Spirit, they're gonna res you anyways. So you pop to res a DPS, and then they pop you up. Is that where we're going here? Holy Word Chastise, Censure, which is for the stun. You want Guardian Spirit for the cooldown. You obviously want this. You will take Halo or Divine Star, it doesn't matter. You get Knockdown or Psychic Voice. I just wouldn't go into that area. Circle of Healing, which is more AoE. Cosmic Ripple. Okay, when they come off cooldown. Divine Hymn. You want Light of the Naru. Binding Heal. I'm not sure if you want that or not, but you want Surge of Light. Healing spells, 8% chance to make you... I don't know. That's kind of... So, Holy Word Salvation or Apotheosis. We'll just take Apotheosis because I don't know what I'm doing. Symbol of Hope is always useful. And once again, we're down to only 8 talent points. So we have choices to make here. And it's going to mostly be based on what we're doing. Are we AoE healing or are we single target healing? Imperial Blaze refreshes Holy Fire at your next cast. Of Holy Fire incurs no cooldown and is instant. So this is more damage oriented. This is more healing, like single target healing and Lightwell. Lightwell's a little interesting. Divine Hymn. So we'll take Gales of Song. We can take Rune of Healing. What's this? Rune of Fire. Holy Word Chastise? Chastise the target. Incapacitate. You wouldn't really want Holy Word Chastise. Holy Oration. Okay, so take this. And then Divine Word. This is like a Holy Word build, right? One more talent point. These trees are getting into getting to the fun part. These trees are getting to the fun part. And then I'm not even going to do disc trees because atonement it's baseline. It's not in a talent tree. Like, this talent tree is not a talent tree. It's just it's not. I don't care too much about it. As you can see, one side is shadow oriented, the other is holy oriented. There's one ability that makes your divine star and halo are now like shadow and everything, which is fine. It's I mean, I really wish that they gave us an actual complete tree when they gave us this little preview, but we cannot get everything that we want. My little coworker slash buddy is probably going to be here later, but I'll go over the trees with them and see if he thinks anything different. Sorry, it's really early. And I was up all night looking over these trees and being like, this could mean some really cool stuff. And I think that might be an interesting topic. But that's the trees.